Has got away with the rest of the field. Gios is the first to show in the white jacket. Caterino up there as well, and Shooting Light out deep on the track. On the near side in the green and white stars is Mr. Morose, and just behind the list Sauvignon. A mistake by Mantles Prince back in the field. On settling down and heading up towards the second, and Caterino on the inside of Shooting Light. Half a length away is Gios, a length to Mr. Morose. Half a length in the center is Le Sauvignon as they go over the second. His Song is further back in the field. As they continue their journey down the back, it's still Caterino from Shooting Light, Mr. Morose, Gios further back in the field. All Loire settling about third last at this stage. Well back in the field too is Mantles Prince, and Effectual is back there as well. But Caterino leading them out of the back by a neck to Shooting Light up on the outside. A length and a half further back is Gios, the blue cap, white jacket on the outside. Mr. Morose in fourth, followed then in the center by Le Sauvignon. Then on the near side, His Song. They're followed by Knife Edge, then Effectual, who's right out the back in company there with Mantles Prince as they round the corner, and All Loire about third last. Heading towards the entrance to the home straight on the first occasion. And the leader Caterino on the far side, just from Shooting Light, and His Song striding up three deep on the near side. 2 lengths away, Mr. Morose as they come to the third, followed then by Gios out wider, then Le Sauvignon in the center. Further back in the field is Knife Edge, and they're followed next by Mantles Prince. All Loire on the extreme left as we watch them now as they go over the next, and Mantles Prince at the rear of the field. Heading up now towards the one that'll be the last next time round in this Martell Aintree hurdle. Switch of camera there, and in the center Shooting Light vying for the lead with Caterino on the near side. Then the white cap of His Song, followed by Gios in the white jacket. Mr. Morose is next, 2 lengths to Le Sauvignon from Knife Edge, then followed then by Effectual. All Loire is second last, and last of all is Mantles Prince. They've got a circuit to go. 6 to jump in the Martell Aintree hurdle, and showing the way is Caterino, Richard Johnson, who rides Star Traveller later. He's out in front by a length there to in second place Shooting Light. On the outside, Tony McCoy, who'll be attempting to rectify a rather poor Aintree record or Grand National record on Dark Stranger later on today. Then in third is Mr. Morose, followed by Gios and His Song. Le Sauvignon behind them from Knife Edge. Effectual. All Loire still held up at the back by Dean Gallagher as they go over the next, and Mantles Prince is last of all. All Loire wasn't too fluent at all over that as they head down the back towards flight number 7. Caterino kicking on by 2 lengths now to Shooting Light, and Gios the outside. 2 lengths away then as Knife Edge is moving up. Here comes All Loire out deep on the track, starting a fast forward move. His Song drops back. They're followed by Mantles Prince, and there next in the field is Mr. Morose. His Song right out the back with Le Sauvignon, and they're followed by Effectual. Heading now towards the last one down the back, and Caterino guessed at that one, but got away with it by half a length. On the outside, Shooting Light. 2 lengths then to Knife Edge from Gios, then All Loire, the light blue jacket the outside. Followed then by Mantles Prince as they prepare to leave the back now. They've kicked away from Mr. Morose, Effectual, and forget about Le Sauvignon, and His Song has dropped out. Racing across the top of the track now. Long run before they reach 3 out in this Martell Aintree hurdle. Caterino sets sail for the judge, about 3 lengths in front now of Shooting Light, and All Loire now called on for an effort. Further back in the field then is Knife Edge on the inside from Mantles Prince as they straighten up for home. Then Gios has dropped back from Mr. Morose. On the corner now, 3 left to jump in the home straight. Caterino heads up for the judge in front. Here comes All Loire, the favourite on the near side. Dean Gallagher come to 3 out now. All Loire strikes the lead from Caterino. Here's Mr. Morose. Mantles Prince is going well. Shooting Light behind them, followed by Knife Edge. 2 left to jump, and Mr. Morose on the near side. Carl Llewellyn takes it up. It's now Mr. Morose who goes into the lead. Slams through the top of that. All Loire battling on. Mantles Prince is the big danger on the far side. They've got 1 left to jump in the Martell Aintree hurdle. Mr. Morose on the near side. Mantles Prince the far side. They come to the last. They jump it together. 4 lengths to All Loire, followed by Effectual, and then Shooting Light. 100 yards left to go. Mr. Morose on the near side, digging deep. It's Mr. Morose in front for Carl Llewellyn. On the far side, Mantles Prince is fighting back, but Mr. Morose in the Jenny Mould colours is going to get the Martell Aintree hurdle by a length and a half. In second, Mantles Prince. Effectual gets third, just ahead of All Loire, who was disappointing. They're followed then by Shooting Light. Behind them is Knife Edge, then Caterino from Le Sauvignon Gios, and then his song as the last to finish. Number 10, Mr. Morose, ridden by Carl Llewellyn, the most successful Grand National jockey in action in today's big race. And here he is getting the money on Mr. Morose in this Martell Aintree hurdle, trained by Nigel Twiston Davis, ridden by Carl Llewellyn and owned by Jenny Mould. Second is number 8, Mantles Prince, owned by R.J. McSharry, trained by Pat Hughes and ridden by Fran Berry. And third is number 1, Effectual, owned by B.C. Dice, trained by Venetia Williams and ridden by Norman Williamson. Another big result for the bookie, 16-1. And fourth is number 4, Au La Loi. But Carl Llewellyn, who's won 2 Grand Nationals, Party Politics and Earth Summit, he's tasting the atmosphere again today, and a great ride on Mr. Morose.
And sitting next to me, assistant trainer Peter Scudamore, already calculating his 10% of the winnings here. But this horse, 12 months ago, 4th in the champion hurdle.
Yeah, he's obviously not been quite himself all season. He's come back today, but you know, I'm delighted for myself, but I'm also especially delighted for Jenny and Raymond Mould, their owners, or his owner. They've been absolutely superb to us, giving us wonderful horses to train, and this is right up amongst the very best of them. Doesn't quite find his form over fences. Remember him winning the Tote Silver hurdle around Chepstow? He was very impressive that day. As you say, he was 4th in the champion hurdle a few years ago, and he's run a cracker today. Mantles Prince was going very well, going to the second last, and when you're watching a race like this, I'm obviously knowing that Mr. Morose is going to stay. I'm just hoping Carl can get Mantles Prince off the bridle, because they very often don't find what you think they're going to. And Francis Berry has ridden a lovely waiting race, as he did in the Ladbroke hurdle when he won on him, but once he came off the bridle, he just couldn't pick up again. But a real game, tough performance by Mr. Morose, and I'm just absolutely delighted.
And no excuses for the beaten favourite, Au La Loi. He had every chance, just didn't quicken.
No, you know, he got a little bit out the back early, but he had to because he doesn't start. But it's a terrific result for me.
Carl Llewellyn has the best Grand National record of any jockey riding. He's won the race twice. And today he rides Senor El Bertruti in the big one at 3:45. Interesting runner, and one you should note as well, because Carl, who I think is a pretty good judge of a Grand National type, has always regarded Senor El Bertruti as the ideal type for Grand National, particularly on this type of ground, and a real